Good evening. Welcome to the Mind of STEM channel, where you get your daily dose of science, technology, engineering, and math. My name is Leon Jones, and in this segment, we're going to talk about forestry. So, the title of tonight's video is What is the Meaning of Forestry? Now, I work for the Indiana Department of Natural Resources as a civil engineer, and the DNR, which is the Department of Natural Resources, has foresters. And foresters are part of the park system. But when we talk about forestry, what is it? Well, the meaning of forestry. Well, forestry is the study of this complex interaction, the management of various components of the forest, the preservation of its natural balance of forest and the life forms they support. Now, as well as the care of it to ensure its well being. Now, good forestry programs also make it possible for humans to get some economic value from it without hurting the forest in any way. This way, using the forest is known as sustainable forestry. Now, in sustainable forestry, efforts are made into replacing almost all the resources we get from the forest, while extra care is taken to ensure that there is little damage to wildlife and the natural environment. Example, only old trees may be cut down, allowing younger trees to grow to ensure continuity, and trees are planted to replace the ones cut down. Now, when it comes to forestry, I just mentioned old trees are cut down. Well, when you cut down old trees, you place old trees with new trees. Now, when you place old trees with new trees, what happens to the new trees? Well, the new trees are considered your younger trees. So, what do you do with your younger trees? You protect them. Now, you protect them through monitoring and supervision. And when it comes to tourism, again, when you deal with forestry, you're dealing with parks. And when you have tourists, tourists are guided and monitored. However, unfortunately, environmental issues cannot be separated from politics and economics, people's lives. This is why effective, sustainable forestry comes in two approaches. They are forest and forest related industries. Now, here, the attention is on the natural resource itself and the timber companies that harness resources directly from forest. In this approach, there are exactly very strict rules and consequences with the way resources are extracted from the forest, because it is usually enforced by laws, hefty fines, and effective monitoring efforts. Now, in recent time, the use of technology is helping authorities see more about what is going on in the forests. This means items made from resources that come from forests will cost a lot in the shops, so consumers also need to be prepared. And of course, part of forestry, we got to deal with consumer behavior. Again, campaigns are developed to educate consumers, industries, and individuals, including you, on the value of forest resources and the dangers that forests face. Efforts are made directly to make people more environmentally aware and friendly. For example, people are encouraged to recycle more, to use paper products from recycled pulp, and to encourage everyone to join the forest or join the fight to save our forests. Again, the importance of forests. Forests and biodiversity are keys to all life forms. The richer the diversity of life, the greater the opportunity for medical discoveries, economic development, and adaptive responses to such challenges as climate change. Now, I'm going to give you some importance of forests. What about watersheds? Well, forest serves as a watershed. Now, watershed is the area of land that contributes water to a stream or river. Watersheds come in all sizes. Some are millions of square miles, while others are just a few acres. This is because almost all water ultimately comes from rivers and lakes from forest-derived water tables. Some rivers running through forests are kept cool and from dying out. Habitat and ecosystems. Forests serve as a home to millions of animals. Think of millions of types of reptiles. Talk about snakes, lizards, wild animals, butterflies, insects, birds, treetop animals, as well as those that live in the forests and rivers. Animals form a part of the food chain in the forest. All these different animals. Plants are called biodiversity. The interaction with one another and with their physical environment is what we call an ecosystem. Healthy ecosystems can better withstand and recover from a variety of disasters such as floods and wildlife. Now, economic benefits. Forests are an immense economic importance to us. For example, plantation forests provide humans with timber and wood, which is exported and used in all parts of the world. They also provide tourism income to inhabitants. People living close to forests, when people visit, they see the best of nature. Climate control and atmospheric purification are keys to human existence. Trees and soils help regulate atmospheric pressures or atmospheric temperatures through a process called evapotranspiration. This helps to stabilize the climate. Additionally, they enrich the atmosphere by absorbing bad gases, for example, CO2 and other greenhouse gases, and producing oxygen. Trees also help remove air pollutants. Now, when we come to forest, there's deforestation. Deforestation is when humans remove or clear large areas of forest lands and related ecosystems for non-forest use. These include clearing for farming purposes, ranching, and urban use. In these cases, trees are never replanted. And since the industrial age, about half the world's original forests have been destroyed and millions of animals and living things have been endangered. Despite the improvements in education, information, and general awareness of the importance of forests, deforestation has not reduced much, and there are still more communities and individuals who still destroy forest lands for personal gains. Now, why do humans clear forests? Well, trees are cut down for many reasons. To be used, sold as lumber, timber, wood, or fuel. This is called logging. To be used for farming purposes, which is grazing fields for livestock or large-scale farming activities. To make room for human settlement and urbanization. This includes making space for shelter, industries, and roads, and of course, to make room for mining. Now, again, when it comes to our forests are very important to us. When it comes to trees, we don't need to cut down trees unless they're dead trees. Now, there is an area where it might help to cut down trees. Let me add that in there. If trees start to dry out, that's when you have a lot of your forest fires. So, one must understand, when it comes to forestry, it is very important. Now, you have to understand, when we talk about forestry, it's the study of this complex interaction, the management of various components of the forest, the preservation of its natural balance of forest and the life forms they support, as well as the care of it to its well-being. Again, good forestry programs make it possible for humans to get some economic value from it without hurting the forest in any way. This way, using the forest is known as sustainable forestry. Again, when we talk about sustainability, it's extra care without damaging wildlife and natural environment. And it concludes this video on forestry. If you like what I just presented, please comment, share, and subscribe. And if you want more controversial content, check out my 401 Talk Zone radio show, also on YouTube, and also check out my Blog Talk radio show. 215-383-5785 is the number. I talk about different topics every weekend. So again, thank you for listening to this edition of the Mind of STEM. And here on the Mind of STEM, give you a daily dose of science, technology, engineering, and math. Until next time, my name is Leon Jones. You have a wonderful and blessed evening. God bless you.